Hey everybody, Johnny Brigadier. Hello and good afternoon. Greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Once again, today it is Friday, November 2nd, 2018. Temperature here is 43 degrees. Sydney, Jade, and I are on our way back to the yard in Frederick, Maryland on English Muffin Way. We are currently traveling on Interstate 70 easterly bound. Alright, in anticipation of the beautiful colors here in Ohio, and also to change the view, I put the camera back up the windshield. I know some of you are going to be disappointed and some of you are going to be happy. So I gotta mix it up, right? But anyway, the GPS is still off. I think I can manage to go to the yard without the GPS on. Just don't ask me how far the yard is from here. Probably somewhere near 5 hours, maybe. Oh, I'm sure I can Google it, but I don't want to. Remember, this is a turn off the GPS challenge day. Who knows? Maybe we'll end up having a Johnny be lost moment day. Let's see, look at those trees. Ain't they beautiful? My next stop will be Belmont, Ohio, at the Pilot truck stop. Refill my bean to cup coffee. Also refill Sydney Jade's diesel. Oh, Friday! Today is Friday! Cash Advance, $100 Cash Advance Day! Woohoo! I'm living large today. I'll be rich. I'll be $100 rich. I get this question a lot. What does a cash advance? Cash advance, just exactly what it says. Why am I get happy about the cash advance? Well, that's my allowance. That's my weekly allowance. I do whatever I wish with it. And of course, the boss deducts it out of my paycheck. Alright, just for full disclosure, just for the sake of information, I haven't had a paycheck in 15 years, going on 16 almost. My paycheck goes directly to the wife, and I just get $100 out of that every week. Used to be $250. When I worked for well companies, their weekly cash advance was $250, and then they dropped it down to $150. But when I came to ADL, it just came down to $100, which I'm okay with it. So yeah, I rarely see my paycheck. Everything goes to the house, takes care of all the bills. whatever I need as far as cameras and whatever I need, period. I do have a Amazon account. I just get it out of there, and then the wife takes care of the bills, and that's it. I know I've said this before, but for some reason, some people still don't understand. I really don't have anything personal expenses on my own other than, food. I don't buy my own clothes. I don't buy. I don't go out and buy clothes for myself. I don't pick them out. I don't buy them. Nothing. Just I get home, they're sitting in a closet, nicely washed and folded, and so I as you could probably see, I don't wear jewelries. I don't even wear a watch. My wife gave me a somewhat of a gold-plated watch one time. Just in my drawer collecting dust, so to speak. Not much of a flash kind of a person. Did you know that the shoes that I have are all hand-me-down from my wife? The commander and I, we have the same size feet. And she's, as I have told you before, she has some kind of a pain, some kind of a medical condition with her feet that makes it feel like the bottom of her feet are on fire. As she describes it, it feels like there's 1,000 needles poking her feet on the bottom. And she has tried everything. She has tried it, doctors, therapies, and whatever. The only relief that she can somewhat find comfort of is to buy shoes on a regular basis. I think she only wears her shoes about 2 to 3 months at a time. Then somehow, I don't know, to her, she says it becomes painful. And it's a kind of a blessing in disguise, because she also doesn't wear typical women's shoes color wise, so I get to wear them. In fact, I wouldn't even care. I really wouldn't care what color my shoes is. To me, a shoes is designed to walk on, not to look at. That's just me. I'm not knocking anybody out there for buying those fancy looking colored shoes, but to me, as I said, as Pat Morita once said on one of his movie, The Karate Kid, a belt is to hold your pants up, not to show you're a black belt, red belt. A belt is just to hold your clothes up. That's kind of my thinking right there. Back in high school, oh wow, I had a fascination with big black markers, like the Sharpie markers. My pants and my shoes were just covered with marker pens. People would write their names on my pants and my shoes, and yet my classmates, they would spend hundreds and hundreds of, even thousands of pesos to buy American made, at the time it was Nike, Adidas, Nike, New Balance, and they would just relish the idea that they're walking on, Air Jordans and fancy shoes, and they would sometimes you would walk. They would walk in the Philippines in a rainy day. Don't be surprised to see people walking barefoot, carrying their expensive shoes. I'm not knocking that. I mean, they work really hard to buy and save all the money to buy those shoes. But I was just completely the opposite of that. There was another classmate of mine who lives in New Jersey now. Him and I were the same. We were exactly the same, except he was part Spaniard, part Filipino. He was a mestizo, and I was a mestizo Filipino-German. In my younger days, I had very light skin, somewhat of a blonde hair, and we were the most, mestizo, light-skinned pupil in the whole entire school, and we would wear the raggedest clothes. One time we were walking in the hallway, and the principal came and walk with us and say, "Why do you two wear such a ragged, dirty looking clothes?" And to which our reply was, "Well, ma'am, what would happen to the rest of the kids if we were to dress up really nice? They wouldn't have a chance." I know it sounded really brash now, but yeah. You have to understand, in the Philippines, especially in Asia, I think it is, throughout Asia, the lighter skin you have, the more you were sought after, I guess. Everybody wanted to be an American. Kind of a lost identity, right? believe it or not, there are Filipina women that are their pursuit in life is to find a bleaching cream to have a lighter skin. I had a girlfriend in college. Actually, she was the first year in college. We were the same age. In fact, she was only 18 days older than I was. But she was in first year of college. I was in the last year of high school. She was a little bit in a darker side. We call them morena. Not dark, just natural Filipino dark skin. And for some reason, she just couldn't accept and love herself the way she did. You know, she was. She would wear long sleeve during hot summer days, even use an umbrella on a bright, hot, sunny day. I told her one of the biggest appeal that I had for her was the way exactly she looked. But that's just the way some people look at, you know, darker skin, I guess. I don't know. There's a saying in the Philippines, black is beautiful. But then again, somebody said, yeah, but too much black is charcoal. I don't know. It sounds a little bit weird and racist now, but that's just the way it was back then. In fact, you know, thinking about it, most of my girlfriends in my younger days were morenas. I guess I had an attraction than the mestizas out there. I don't know, just so happened that way. I remember back in high school, most of the girls, for some reason, they would find it easy to come up to me and just pour their heart out and cry their heart out about what kind of day they're having. But you know, the fights they're having with their boyfriends, and I find myself getting bullied by the boyfriends because their girlfriends are coming to talk to me instead of them. Like, man, I was just listening. I didn't do anything, man. There was this one incident where this girl was pressured to do it for the first time. Otherwise, her boyfriend would have break it off if she didn't give it. and she was in a hard, what do you call that? In a hard, between the hard place, rock and hard place. To her mind, she was in an impossible situation. So during an examination one day, a test, somebody slipped a note through the door addressed to me. And she wrote down, "Sorry to bother you, John, but I think I'm gonna commit suicide." So I had to excuse myself, get out of the class, just so I could talk to this girl. Man, I spent hours and hours and hours talking and listening to her. And she was probably, without a doubt, she was probably the most beautiful, good-looking girl in the whole school. Oh man, was she beautiful. Well, at the end of the story, I think she lives in California now. I can't tell you the amount of time that I was pulled away or just spent hours and hours of trying to talk to the girls. And sometimes, believe it or not, sometimes like, why are you talking to me like this when I'm kind of, I have my ulterior motives. Look, I was no saint. I was absolutely no saint in my younger days. But somehow, I don't know, the people, girls would find me easy to approach and talk to. Sometimes I get I get mad because here I am kind of interested, and yet they're pouring their hearts out like I was their brother. Like, come on. I don't know, I guess to sum it all up, I was just like every other screwed up, young adolescent boy. But I guess I was kind of wild and crazy, but I was wild and crazy to myself. I didn't bother anybody. I didn't bully anyone. I did stupid things that only affected me and not other people. So I guess that's the big difference. There was a time back in like high school, college years that I couldn't go anywhere in the city of Cagayan de Oro without somebody calling out my name. I mean, it just, for some reason, a lot of people knew me. That went on and on, high school and college. But after college years, not that I went to college, actually I did go to college. I just never went inside the class. all my friends were in college. I waited outside till they came out. I had nowhere else to go. But after that era, I went and migrated here in the United States. From hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of friends down to zero. Man, that hurt. That really hurt. But I had no choice. There was nothing for me back there economically. It's hard to compete with college graduates. And for those of you who may not know, my father was born and raised in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. He migrated to the Philippines at the age of, I don't know, early 20s, late 20s maybe. And he lived there for about 45 years. So by the time 1990 came, I came here, and I've been living here since then. In the earlier years, I used to go home every year, every other year. But that, I think 2001 was the last time I went home. I went home because my dad died here at his house in Sheboygan, and it was always his last wish that he would be laid to rest back in Camiguin Island. So my brother and I, we took his remains home, and that was the last time I went home. Who do you know that lives in Pataskala, Ohio? A gentleman by the name of Dennison, I think. Alright, that's all I have for you guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this beautiful scenery here in Ohio. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Johnny Be Good here. Have a good and godly day. Peace.